Hi, my name is Suzanne Harper, and I'm the author of a book series called The Unseen World of Poppy Malone. The first book in the series is called A Gaggle of Goblins. One of the questions that I've been asked to answer is what books and settings inspired my characters and the setting of the book. I would say that a TV show that really inspired Poppy Malone is The X-Files. In that TV show, as you may remember, Agent Mulder was the one who really wanted to believe that the paranormal existed, and Agent Scully was the one who was a little bit more skeptical. So the same kind of thing works in The Unseen World of Poppy Malone. Her parents are paranormal investigators, so they're definitely believers. Poppy wants to be a scientist. She has a tendency to be a little bit more skeptical. As far as the setting goes, I set the book in Austin, Texas, partly because I went to college there. I graduated from the University of Texas. The other reason I wanted to set it there is because Austin's city motto is called Keep Austin Weird. They've always had a reputation for being kind of offbeat and quirky, and I thought it would be really funny if the Malones moved to Austin and have never really had the chance to even see any paranormal stuff. They've never run into any vampires that they've searched for or anything like that, and then they get to Austin and all of a sudden ghosts and mermaids and goblins are popping up all over the place. Probably my favorite adventures in books are the books by Mary Norton, such as the Borrower series and Bedknobs and Broomsticks. What I really loved about them is the way that the author started with these characters who seem to live in a very ordinary world. Even the borrowers, they're so small, but they're still like an ordinary, normal family. And then the adventures happen to them. The fantasy kind of creeps in a little bit. The other thing I really like is the way she uses humor in those books, and that's really inspired me. So how is Poppy different from classic adventure protagonists? I would say it's because Poppy has a tendency to hold back a little bit. Because she has that scientific mindset, she's always looking for a rational explanation for things that seem kind of weird or spooky, and she really needs to have proof before she goes out and starts investigating further. So I would say she's a little bit of a reluctant adventurer, but then once she gets into it, she goes full force. When I think about what characters I would want to have with me when I go on an adventure, I would have to say definitely Poppy. She always keeps a cool head, she's very smart, and she's very focused on whatever she's trying to get done. So I think she would be a great partner in any kind of adventure. So what's next for Poppy Malone? Well, in the next book, she and her family are going to encounter ghosts. I actually just traveled to Texas, and I spent some time touring around and going to little old cemeteries, the kind that are stuck off in the countryside that not very many people go to anymore, just to kind of get a sense of what the atmosphere is like. And I will tell you one thing that Poppy finds out, which is when you go to a graveyard, you better make sure that none of the ghosts follow you home.